What's up, everybody? Rob here. So this is just a complete off-the-cuff video. I'm just going to be rambling and incoherent, so pretty much what you're used to here. This is in reference to Games Workshop and everything that's going on with this. I'm sure you've heard about the situation there, and you've heard other people talking about their opinions on it. I just figured I'd throw it out there because I am a fan of Games Workshop. I'm a fan of Warhammer 40k, Warhammer Fantasy, not really Age of Sigmar. Couldn't really get into that, but that's another issue. And just so you know, I have a cold right now, so I'm going to be... I sound weirder than I do normally, as well as I'm going to be like coughing and sneezing and everything else, so just keep that in mind. So to start with, the reason why I discovered Warhammer 40k is, and Warhammer Fantasy, and pretty much Games Workshop in general, is because of fan content like this. It was actually this was 10 plus years ago. It was really unsophisticated. It was just cutscenes from Dawn of War and Mark of Chaos, which I think it was Mark of Chaos, which is Warhammer Fantasy. And they took the cutscenes from those, they patched them together, and they edited it out, split it up, and then they put it over music. I think it was Man of War. I think Sons of Odin by Man of War, which is great song, great band too. Anyway, I just stumbled upon that, oh, this is interesting. Hey, what franchise is this? What game is this of? What's this all? Guys in this power armor stuff and this other thing, this fantasy stuff with guys with spears and these. I now know they're chaos, but they're huge guys with plate armor and all that stuff. What's going on here? And I became interested, and I became a 40k fan. I became a Warhammer Fantasy fan. I bought the Gottrex and Felix books, not all of them, but a big chunk of them. I've bought Horus Heresy novels. Caiaphas Cain, Gaunt's Ghosts. I have Warhammer miniatures right here. I became a fan, and I spent money. I gave my money to Games Workshop because they created a product that I liked. I looked into the lore. I looked into it, and they now have an amount of my money I gave to them for their product. And ultimately, though, it comes back to this fan-made creation. And that was just a music video 10, 11 something years ago. What do you think something like talk-to-speech device, if the Emperor had talk-to-speech device, how many people do you think became Warhammer fans because of that? Okay, what about stuff like, the Astartes thing, people saw that and that's infinitely higher quality. And how many people saw that and said, wow, what's this about? Who are these guys here? They're these brutally efficient killing machines just ripping through people. How many people looked at, talk-to-speech and said, wait, this is hilarious. What's the franchise that, what's this based on? Oh, it's 40k. Oh, let's look into that. How many people, Hell's Reach, Death of Hope, and so many other of these fan animations. First off, what's that say about the community where, about the fandom, where people are so passionate about this project or about this IP that they're willing to do stuff. Astartes was made by one guy who's just a 40k fan. Hell's Reach was just a guy who's a 40k fan, not affiliated. Text-to-speech, I think there was a team there, but they were they just are fans. They're not associated. Death of Hope. These are just people who are just fans. They just love this so much. What's that say about the Warhammer world, this creation that Games Workshop had, that their fans are willing to do? I don't know of any other fandom that is willing to go to that level. You've seen Astartes. I'm sure you have. The amount of work that went into doing that, it boggles my mind. And they did it the guy did it just because he just loves Warhammer. And then, Hell's Reach. He just loved the story. Death of Hope. They just loved the Horus Heresy. The Horus Heresy plot. And to take that goodwill, the Warhammer community is probably one of the best fandoms in all of fiction. To take that goodwill and destroy it like Games Workshop does, it boggles my mind. First, from a business perspective, because like I said, I became a fan because of some stupid music video. What do you think text-to-speech device is going to do? How many tens of thousands of people? No joke, probably tens of thousands of people. Now, if maybe they didn't buy anything, but they now at least know about Warhammer 40k. Maybe even hundreds of thousands. I don't know. It's impossible to get numbers on this. But then you compare that to but then that's just one franchise. What about all the others these fan animators do? That is free advertising. So just from a purely business perspective, they got all that advertising for free. And now they're saying to those people, okay, here's what you're going to do. You have a choice. You can either come work for us, and we'll lock your work away behind a paywall of Warhammer Plus, something that nobody goes to. Nobody's going to pay for this. And we're going to keep it there, and you can do that. Or we're going to hit you with a copyright strike. Now, whether or not it's legal to hit them with a copyright strike, whether things fall under fair use or whatever, like basically, even if they win, like there's a lawsuit involved and the creator wins against Game Workshop, what do you win? It's a mega, mega corporation with all their legal counsel against some guy. Even if you win, like, is it worth it? Like, going through the lawsuits and all the stress involved with it, it's not worth it. So even if you win, you're going to end up losing anyway. So basically, it's like a lose-lose scenario for them. And so, again, like, from a pure business perspective, it makes no sense. But also, like, it's spitting on the fans. It's spitting on a fan. Like, I don't know, but, like, Star Wars, I don't see, maybe they are, I don't know. But, like, I don't know Star Wars fans that are putting, like, making, like, an Astartes level type project. I don't know of Star Treks that are making, a Hell's Reach or a Death of Hope type of a project. Like, I don't know if these things existed. Probably do, but I highly, highly doubt it. I'm not talking like, some horrible fanfics and, some deviant art. Is deviant art even around anymore? I don't know. But, like, some, like, fan drawings or stuff like that. I'm talking, like, stuff of this high quality. This is, like, the only fandom that actually does that. And to just spit on them, it's disrespectful to the fans. It's disrespectful to these individual creators, and it's just bad business practice. So, Games Workshop has been doing this for a while now. Things really started going downhill, honestly, a couple of years ago with the end of Warhammer Fantasy and the introduction of Age of Sigmar. Now, Warhammer Fantasy sales were declining. It wasn't that great. It wasn't doing that well. The only part of it that was actually making profit was Gotrek and Felix. So rather than update the lore and maybe add a new faction in somewhere, update the models, keep the story going in somewhere, like somehow, right? Let's just nuke the whole thing and let's let's just basically get rid of it and usher in this new Age of Sigmar stuff, which I tried to give. It just didn't have the same charm to it. Gave it an honest chance. I tried to figure it out. It just made it contradicted itself in lore. Like the elves are merged. Like I think there was like high elves and wood elves and dark elves, and they were like in an alliance together, like they reformed together into like what? No, that's not what they do. But whatever. But it just lost its charm. It just lost its like what made Warhammer Fantasy. And the changes they've also made to like the Primaris Marines, I can see it, but I don't know. Like basically, it's like they're taking Warhammer. Well, they got rid of Warhammer Fantasy, and they're taking Warhammer 40K. I don't want to say in directions I don't like, because that makes it seem like it's like, oh, they changed it, therefore it's bad. But the whole point of Warhammer 40K is that this is a dystopian world. Like the Imperium of Men is an empire in decline. They're hanging on by their fingernails, and like hope is a dangerous thing. That is the whole point of 40K. The entire 40K plotline, the entire 40K franchise, and now the Imperium is actually doing good. Like Rabuti Gilliman's back in charge, and he's got Primaris Marines now, and there's a ray of sunlight here. It's like, I mean, it's good for like if this was a story that you want to get, like you're writing like a novel series or something like that. But for a franchise, like the entire franchise is based on, like the main faction is the Imperium of Man, with all the different things like the Space Marines, the Imperial Guard, Sisters of Battle, all that stuff. But basically, it's like the Imperium is like the main faction overall, and they're hanging on by their fingernails. That is the whole point. Like they're an empire in decline. They are barely hanging on, and like at best a victory will be like a Pyrrhic victory. Like we won't be destroyed today. It'll maybe happen tomorrow, the day after that, a year from now, a century from now, whenever. Like that's the whole point, and that's what made people love it. So to change it, that up just kind of defeats the whole, basically the charm of 40K. That it's not like a Star Trek or Star Wars where it's ultimately optimistic. That's not why people love 40K. But that's completely off and that itself is completely off the topic. See, I'm ranting and rambling about nothing here. But really, basically, from a business decision, though, how they're treating their fans, how they're treating their fandom, Yeah, you want to see this really cool... Oh, you want to make these really cool animations? Yeah, hide it behind a paywall or we're going to hit you with a copyright strike. You want to see these really cool fan-made animations? Pay us for it first. That's just utter BS. It's just utter BS. It's bad business decisions. They're getting rid of free advertising. And it just shows utter lack of respect for people that made Games Workshop what it is. Like, I don't even know of any franchise that's as memeable as, you know, as 40K. And like, can you imagine, like, you know, Donald Trump, the Emperor from Star Wars? No. Donald Trump, the God Emperor of 40K? Yeah, okay, that works. That works. But, you know, so they're basically, like, taking, like, the most memeable, one of the most fan-friendly settings, because that's what it is. 40K is not really a story, it's a setting. And so you can plug in any stories there. There's infinite amount of things fans can do. It's great. And they're just spinning all over that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm just really, really annoyed with Games Workshop for decisions. They made questionable decisions over the years. And you're going to say, well, it's just your opinion. Yes, it is just my opinion. And you're free to disagree with me if you want. Keep it, you know, put it in the comments. Keep it polite. Keep it civil. There's enough vitriol out there in the world. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. The point I'm trying to make here, though, is far be it for me to tell you what to do with your money. But really, as long as Games Workshop continues to act the way they are, they're not going to be getting any more of my money. I was thinking about getting some more models. I was thinking about maybe starting a Black Templar army. Maybe I don't know, finish out the Imperial Guard force that I have here. You know, maybe add a few extras here. They're a bit expensive, the models, but you know, okay, fine. Maybe Sisters of Battle. I know I'm an Imperium guy. Pretty much anybody but Tau, though. We don't talk about them. But yeah, you know what? I'm not going to. The remainder of the Horus Heresy, I think it's the Solar War, I think it's called now, that series. Not going to be buying any more of those. I'm not going to be buying any books. Maybe I'll get them like secondhand at a thrift shop or something like that. But I will not be supporting Games Workshop. If you want to, you are free to do so. I'm not your boss. But I would recommend not giving your money to people that hold you in such obvious contempt. So that's just it. Like, as far as I can tell, Games Workshop has nothing but contempt for its fans, or is treated us with nothing but contempt, especially in this particular matter with fan creators and you know, using copyright laws to hammer people who really are just that passionate about their product. It boggles my mind why they would do this. Maybe they have some insider business knowledge. Maybe they talked to Zeech and sold their soul to Zeech for prognostications of the future. I don't know what's going on here. But in any case, yeah, that's just my opinion on this matter. They won't be getting any more of my money unless things change over there. So that is it for this video. Please hit the like and subscribe button. If you disagree with me, please feel free to leave a comment. If you agree, feel free to leave a comment. Keep it polite, keep it civil, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, like and subscribe button. More videos coming out whenever I get around to it. Have a good day. Or don't have a good day. Your adults have any kind of day you want. See you later.